As we have discussed in our previous video, reports suggest that Manchester United is considering selling many of their players this summer, including academy player Marcus Rashford. At 26, Marcus's future at Old Trafford is uncertain after a difficult season. But is selling him the right move? Before we dive into that question, if you enjoy our content and want to support our channel, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We truly appreciate it. Despite his struggles, Erik ten Hag has defended Rashford, insisting that he is capable of scoring every season, 25, 35 goals. So, should United part ways with their homegrown star? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're eager to hear from you. Now let's dive into it. Last week, the England international seemed to be overwhelmed by the moment as United clinched the FA Cup against City. He was pivotal in the second goal, setting up Alejandro Garnacho on the right, who then crossed to Bruno Fernandes, leading to Kobbie Mainoo's score. After the game, he posted on Instagram with a picture of himself crying, saying, "People want to know what Man United means to me. Is this a farewell?" Let's first rewind a bit. When Rashford signed his new contract last July, boosting his weekly wage to around £325,000, John Murtaugh, then the club's football director, said that working with Erik ten Hag and his coaches is the perfect environment for Marcus to continue developing into one of the best attacking players in the world. But this season, it hasn't exactly looked perfect, has it? Yes, there have been times, like under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in 2020 and Ten Hag last season, when Rashford has looked like a natural talent, totally in sync with his skills, role, and status. But there have also been long stretches where his form has dipped, making him look like a young man struggling under the intense spotlight and heavy expectations both on and off the pitch. It's been 8 years since he burst into United's first team as a teenager, scoring 8 goals in his first 18 appearances. Since then, he's netted 131 goals in 401 appearances across all competitions. It's a solid but streaky record. All his goal tallies over the past 5 seasons show 22, 21, 5, 30, and this year just 8. This season marks the 5th time in 9 years that he hasn't hit double figures in Premier League goals. Even his 4 double-figure seasons include modest totals of 10 and 11 alongside 2 more impressive 17s. In the 2022-23 season, he was scoring well above his expected goals. But this season, he regressed to, and at times fallen below his average performance. Rashford's current league stats, 0.28 goals and 0.08 assists per 90 minutes, are his worst in 7 years, and his 0.84 shots on target per 90 minutes is a career low. But his slump is part of a bigger issue with the whole team. Ten Hag's squad has only scored 52 league goals, the fewest among the current top-half clubs. Last season, Rashford scored nearly 30% of United's league goals, which was a career anomaly. This season, that share has dropped to 13.5%, which is actually his career average, excluding last season. So his current numbers are more in line with the team's overall struggles to create and convert chances. However, his shot maps show a noticeable lack of shots from inside the 6-yard box. This season, an area where he was highly effective last term. When it comes to creating and finishing clear-cut chances, Rashford ranks 3rd for open play XG involvement, which measures actions leading to shots, typically excluding his injury-ravaged 2021-22 season. He finished 2nd in this metric, behind Fernandes, so one could argue that this season might actually be more about the rise of 2nd-placed Garnacho becoming a key player and wide option rather than Rashford dropping off. But there's more to Rashford's game than just scoring goals, right? Well, it really depends on whether he's hot or cold. When he's on fire, he's a fast, skillful player who dribbles and finishes well. But when he's off, he can look predictable. He doesn't have the creative flair of Foden, Saka, or Palmer, and he never quite developed into the center forward he once aimed to be. Despite this, he's already made 461 senior appearances for club and country. This season has been a struggle from the start. Some fans think he got too comfortable after signing his new contract, but it's been one of those seasons for United where nothing and nobody seems right. By mid-season, Rashford had only 2 Premier League goals and was facing heavy criticism. In November, Ten Hag publicly called him out for hitting a nightclub after losing to Derby in Manchester City, leading to Rashford being benched for 4 straight games in December. He seemed to bounce back a bit by January, but then things went south again. He flew to Belfast to see a friend on a day off, ended up too ill to train the next day, and missed the FA Cup match against Newport County. United initially blamed illness but later said, "This has been dealt with as an internal matter which is now closed." Closed, yes, but but not forgotten. Despite defending Rashford at times, Ten Hag clearly felt let down by him on a few occasions. The manager has been frustrated with Rashford's lack of conviction and consistency on the ball, even in areas where he excelled last season, and his perceived lack of defensive discipline without it. Ten Hag emphasizes the importance of his attackers' performance off the ball, acting as the first line of defense. Players like Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony and Ahmad have been inconsistent in this respect, but Ten Hag has been satisfied with their efforts to adapt to his demands. Rashford's recent absence from the starting lineup reflects concerns about his off-the-ball work as much as his goal-scoring form. When it comes to pressing from the front, Rashford ranks 4th among United players for pressures applied in the final third per 90 minutes, but he drops to 7th for total pressures across all areas of the pitch. These numbers show a slight decline, with his averages in both metrics dropping incrementally over 3 successive seasons. In terms of distance covered, only goalkeepers Onana and Harry Maguire run few kilometers per 90 minutes this season. Rashford, known for his bursts of pace, ranks only 5th for sprints per 90 minutes, behind Garnacho, Anthony, Højlund, and Dalot, staying consistent with his career averages. Lately, there's been a lot of speculation about Rashford's future. Less than a year into his new deal, United seem open or at least not opposed to selling him if the right offer comes along. However, some rumors suggest that United aren't actively seeking or expecting bids for Rashford and would only consider a sale if he pushes for it and the fee exceeds £70 million. How much would you let him go for? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Recently, like most of United's senior players, Rashford had a private one-on-one meeting with Sir Dave Brailsford, head of sports at Ineos, whose owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, has brought a 25% stake in the club. Brailsford wanted to share the Ineos vision and understand the team dynamics ahead of what's expected to be a summer of change at Old Trafford. It's known that Rashford's relationship with Ten Hag has become strained, but it's unclear what feedback he or any other player gave, whether about their own form, the manager, or other issues. In his Players Tribune article, Rashford suggested he thrives on being questioned and criticized. If you back me, good. If you doubt me, even better. But sentiments like that can often sound hollow. He seemed bruised and worn down by negative coverage in the mainstream media and on social media. Like most players, he probably longs for support and appreciation rather than negativity. For now, though, he finds himself out in the cold, on the margins at United and out of favor with England. For a while, playing for England seemed like Rashford's sanctuary. Unlike many past United players, he often performed better for his country than his club. Even during tough times at United, he kept his place in the England squad and became a poster boy for the cultural reset under Southgate. But things changed. Rashford was frustrated when he didn't start a single game at the 2021 European Championship and was deeply upset by the racist abuse he, Jadon Sancho, and Saka faced after missing penalties in the final against Italy. A mix of poor form and injuries kept him out of the England squad for 16 months until his improved performances at United earned him a recall just in time for the 2022 World Cup. He scored against Iran as a substitute and twice against Wales, but was left out of the starting lineup against Senegal and France in the knockout stage. Of the 31 matches England have played since the Euro 2020 finals, Rashford has appeared in 14, and he has now been left out of England's provisional squad for Euro 2024. Much like at United, his hopes of securing a regular starting spot at centre forward seem to have faded. United legend Rio Ferdinand has suggested that moving away from Manchester could help Rashford leave behind negative influences. The implication is that Rashford should have progressed more by now, and a change of scenery might be best after spending so long at one club. It's also possible that he doesn't have the right mentality to be the main man at his boyhood club. The truth is that when things aren't going well, it looks like he goes into a spiral. Critics are slamming him for a poor attitude, but he's probably just struggling under immense pressure. Looks like Old Trafford is gearing up for a major shakeup this summer. With the profitability and sustainability rules in play, United needs to balance the books to make room for fresh signings. And let's face it, very few players have been lighting up the pitch for United this season. So cashing in on Rashford for a hefty sum could inject some serious talent into multiple positions. So should United pull the trigger to sell Rashford? Sure, the stats might show a bit of a slump, but given the team's overall struggles, he's holding up his end. But with his price tag soaring, the club might be tempted to cash out. Ultimately, for the right price, it could prove beneficial for all parties involved. Do you agree with our analysis? Should United sell Rashford? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.